What's going on, guys? Today was a true test of patience in the NASDAQ 100. So, coming into the market, we had a big sell off in the pre market. Okay. What I was looking at here was a short sighted bias coming into the market open for New York, because what I was looking at here is if the level that we lost, and it was 20,944, this level's been on my chart for weeks. But 20,944 was broken in the pre market, and then we retested it right here off the market open about 15 minutes off the open. Okay, so there was a beautiful 15-minute ORB trade that broke. If you would have taken a first entry, I could see how someone made some cash on a scalp here. That wasn't my focus. What I was kind of looking at here was the downside. So my first initial trade of the day was once we swept to 944 to the upside and we put in this inverse hammer, my thought process was it's going to get rejected, put in a lower high, and then take out lows and just start screaming to the downside. That didn't happen. Luckily, I have on Fridays, always on a Friday, I'm a see green, take green guy. I'm a think scalp, get in, get out of the markets type of guy. So when this confirmed, the low price here on this inverse hammer is 20,903. It went down to 208.73. So from 209.03 to 208.73. Quickly, I got 10 points on this. Now, this is a very tough trade to hold because the range was so big. Like this candle alone is 62 points on a 5-minute time frame. So although it looks like you would have made fast cash on it, I got into this trade and there was a point in time where I'm down 15, 20 points before it went in my favor to give me 10 points. Once we didn't take out the low, that London low, that pre-market low, we started to kind of grind higher here. It confirmed the 30-minute opening range. So now I've got this level at 20,995. And I was waiting and I was waiting and I was waiting and I was waiting for 995 to get taken out. And finally, it was about this time here where on the live trading call today inside of Evolution Traders, I just told everyone, guys, I'm done. Like, I'm done. We're not breaking down through this flag. We're not confirming going down. This is not taking out the 30-minute opening range high. Remember, we always want to see the 30-minute opening range high get broken, right? Here's a 30-minute opening range high. We want to see it get broken. We want to see that new pivot point come in, and then I want to see it get confirmed. Now, luckily, I walked away here. It did confirm, shot up about 12, 13 points, but look at how fast this is. Like, this is such a bad trap here, because from trapping at this point, it ends up going down, right? It ends up going down. Let me take this off. It ends up going down, wicks in over 995, goes all the way up to 108, and then comes all the way down to 916. Like, this is an 80-point sell-off, right? Like, you're going to get trapped. So luckily, I just said, I've got to get out of the market. But what happens? What ends up happening? It ends up finally confirming, and it does go. And this was a beautiful trade here that I did not take part in. I just did not take part in it. But this window right here between market open and when I left the trading, let me make this bigger. From market open until when I left this range right here, I was just mentally done. Like, mentally done. It was going up 20 points, down 20 points. I lost the trade. I made the money back on the trade. I went into the profit, very small. I'm up like $225 on the day. So it was very, very small, but I was drained, right? And there's going to be days where you're going to just mentally get drained, where you're going to wait for something to happen and it just doesn't happen in your window. And regardless of the fact, even if I would have taken this trade, and let's say I would have taken a small loss on it, I would have made it all back plus some if I would have caught this move here, right? But I can't think about it that way. Like, if I was still fresh and maybe this was like a Tuesday or a Wednesday and I'm still, kind of sitting at the charts and just playing it safe, maybe I take a loss here, but maybe I make it all back here. Maybe I was already green on this trade here to the downside. So now I finish green, more green than I would have finished today, but it's Friday. It's like I don't have a lot of mental equity left on Fridays to sit here for 4 hours after the market opens to finally wait for the move. But there's a good teaching moment here. Regardless of what you think is going to happen in the market, This is a prime example how maybe you would have taken a loss here, right? Maybe you would have taken a small loss here. But if you would have sat back and waited for that to actually get confirmed and now start to close over, you could have essentially been in a trade from 20,000, 21,010 all the way up to like 21,050. I mean, this is a 40, 50, 60 point move here, right? It would have made back for this little baby loss that you would have taken here, all because of patience. If we're not stressing patience and you're finding yourself being frustrated and you're finding yourself going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, you got to do one thing. Just tell yourself, I'm better off to myself coming back tomorrow, coming back next week with a clear head versus continuing to anticipate the market's going up, anticipate the market's going lower, anticipate the market's going up. Because all you're going to do in that situation is now you're forcing trades outside of your trade window, you're draining your mental equity, and you're just basically, you're hoping to click the button and be right. And again, it sucks because I know for 100% the way that I trade, I would have been a part of this move. I know for a fact I would have made money on that trade. I just did not have any more brain power to sit another 2 hours and see that play trade out. And I have to be okay with that. I have to live with that. I got to be okay with that. I got to be okay with walking away slightly in the green today. I got to be okay with being able to come back into the markets next week with a clear head. And it is what it is. You're not going to catch every trade. Not every trade's going to set up in your window, and you got to be okay with that. I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you guys want to join Evolution Traders, that link is down in the description box below. Also, guys, I have a 12-minute mini lesson on patience. Again, this video is about patience. I have a 12-minute mini lesson, private lesson on patience. That link is down in the description box below. I'll see all of you guys on the inside.